Rami, welcome to Tech Trends. I mean, you have been a professional for quite a while. What has been your experience in the IT industry in Nigeria today?
It's been a big challenge, and one thing that is certain is we're in a digital age. We can't help it, and we spend so much on bringing applications from outside the country. We spend so much on technology. Unfortunately, we are not doing well in the area of technology. And as I said earlier, we're in the IT age. We cannot help it. There are a lot of places they don't have GSM network now in Nigeria. But if you want to register for WAEC, you have to go and do it online. If you want to register for SS, you have to do it online. You have to register. If you want to register for JAM, you have to do it online. So what that means is it has come to stay. To vote, registration for voters registration was done digitally. So we cannot move out of it. We're in it already, and as a country, we just need to do all within our reach to ensure that we not only serve as consumer, we also produce.
How do you think we can use technology to create more jobs for the young people?
We should do more to encourage local content usage. A lot of applications comes in from outside the country. We have a lot of computer science graduates, electrical graduates, IT graduates. We should encourage them to write applications, and we will ensure that we get to use them to build the application. Most of those foreign companies will just come with an already built application, and they ask for people to start using it. No, we have a lot of graduates that are looking for jobs, and I think the way to go is to catch them young, train them in the area of core IT programming. And when I mean IT programming, I'm not talking of outdated programming language. You know, we're talking about programming language that has economic value.
Which leads me to the question around our curriculum. A lot of young people are still being taught programs like Fortran and the rest of them. How can we change that?
It's unfortunate. You still see them doing Fortran, Pascal. As a commissioner for innovation, science and tech, I spoke with heads of tertiary institutions some time ago that it's key they review syllabus. And at our level in the state, we're encouraging that syllabus should be reviewed. And not only in the area of IT, some other technology area, you discover courses being, the syllabus are old, and there's a need for us to review the syllabus so as to go with the current trend.
Each year we pay lots of money for foreign software and then for licensing fees. What do you think we can do about that?
Most establishments in Nigeria do not believe in local content. They are worried that graduates are trained with old, outdated programming language. So we should encourage our tertiary institutions to review syllabus. I know a few universities are now coming up with Center of Excellence for Software Development. And as a government in Osun, I just said we're encouraging youth in the area of core software programming. And we are deploying some solutions to enhance work in the government setup. These solutions are built locally. So if government begins to patronize local content and it works fine for us, I'm sure those in the industries too will build confidence in the local software developers.
There is this perception that solutions built locally cannot match the ones built abroad. As an industry professional, what's your opinion on that?
No, if it works and you see people like us coming out that we have used this, it has worked. If you look at most of the tertiary institutions in Nigeria, their portals are built locally. So that's the way to go. And the government should also encourage us, and we, the practitioners, should also enforce that we are not sidelined. We should also enforce that contents are built locally. I mean, applications are built locally. In every sphere of life, you now use application. And it's important we keep on emphasizing that syllabus should be reviewed, because at times people feel it is cheaper to approach those Indians to build application than to get Nigerians to build it, because you can't learn how to do good application in Nigerian university. You have to go and learn it on your own. So most people, because they spend heavily to learn it, some of them will have to travel out to go and learn how to program well. When they come back, there are charges. So we need to encourage our tertiary institutions to work on the syllabus, so that anybody that tells you he went to university to do software engineering or computer science should at least be able to do a few of those things without having to go and study abroad again or going for certification out there.
A lot of young people are leaving the country instead of greener pastures. But we're in a digital era. How do you think we use technology to solve this problem?
Well, create jobs for them. Once you create jobs for them, one of the reasons why people leave the country is because they feel with their skill, there's no opportunity. I get a better opportunity out there. But once we create jobs, when I left university was when the telecommunication companies were coming in. So guys that would have ordinarily left the country stayed behind because they had opportunity for good jobs. So if I know I have those skills and they are not making use of the skill, I would want to go to where they will make use of the skill. So once we encourage local content and we start using local application, we ensure that we don't outsource all our services to the foreigners. People will stay back.
It would be great to know your views on how we can use technology to improve security in the country.
Well, we've done something in Osun. We are the first state to do it in Nigeria. We are deploying some unmanned area vehicles to monitor our borders.
Drones, you mean?
Yes, drones, but they are not the conventional drone. The ones we are deploying, we are going to place them at 4 different locations in Osun. And all those locations are connected to Shogbo already. And we already have a short code from NCC, a toll-free number, that once you call that there's a problem, we can deploy the unmanned area vehicle to fly into space. And the good thing about the unmanned area vehicle is it has a video transmitter. So whenever there's any issues within Osun, the unmanned area vehicle can get under 15 minutes because it travels at 150 kilometers per hour. And the good thing is we can use that for security. And because it has a video transmitter, wherever it flies to, you can see the visuals of wherever it flies to. And we already have a citizen inquiry call center, an emergency center, where you can call. Security operatives are there. So that will synergize. We are just trying to synergize the work there. Any moment from now, we are just waiting for the arrival of the drone. The unmanned area vehicle.
Battery life?
About 4 hours. We can even get the ones that will do more than 4 hours, but because we're a state that don't have money, so. And what is key for us is if there are challenges, this thing can move and get there under 15 minutes because it will do 150 kilometers per hour and it can do a minimum of 4 hours.
Is it possible to have innovation without adequate power supply?
Well, we must blame the previous government. The power, there are four stages in power. You have the generation, you have the transmission, you have distribution and utilization. Now, we've done a lot in the area of generation. We have improved what we are generating. But what you are generating cannot get home if you don't improve on the facility you are using to transmit. So they did a lot with generation. We are generating what we have never generated in the history of this country. But we do not have sufficient facility to transmit it. So we keep on having system collapse. Then we also have issues with distribution. Because most of the GenCos are now pushing blames to the government. People are having issues with metering. People are not paying for the energy they are taking. So it's a complex thing. So we need to take each of the sector. Here we have improved generation. We need to work so much on transmission. And I know the power minister is doing a lot in that area. We also need to ensure that the GenCos, the DISCOs, should improve on the distribution and improve on metering, so that a distribution company will know I can get back the money I have invested in power. You supply power to people they are not paying because there's no proper metering. And one of the reasons why we have challenge with the metering is also because we have not encouraged local content. These meters, we are waiting for these meters to be brought from outside the country. Assuming we can build this meter locally, I'm sure the overhead wouldn't have been that much. So it's a complex situation, but I think we are getting out of it.
Finally, before I let you go, Remy, do you still find time to write codes?
No, I do, because politics is not as lucrative as it used to be, maybe at the state level, because people create the impression that you make a lot of money in politics, but for us, also don't forget that people depend on you so much when you're in the public office. So for me to survive, I still have to do my job.
Thank you for doing the show today. All the best.
Yeah.
I have been chatting with Remy Omowaye, Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology for Osun State. Well, technology development should be taken seriously if we must be able to compete at all levels internationally. And quite frankly, it starts with policy makers and how much they're able to create an enabling, supportive environment for startups. Let's hope that our policymakers truly understand the importance of ensuring that Nigerians are players in this space as well. That's our show for today. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget you can watch these and previous editions of the show on the Channels TV YouTube account or via my blog cfatech.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.